Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Chess Lifestyle stream, and I cannot stress enough that I do not want to be training calculation right now. I literally cannot be asked. However, if there is any chance in hell that I'm going to make 2200 FIDE at some point in my life, I have to be putting in the work. There's literally no other chance otherwise. So yeah, we're gonna train, and I hope it's not as awful as I predict it's gonna be. But I just don't want to use my brain to calculate. But here we go. Let's get to it. Oh, we're doing these Mikhail Tal woodpeckers, which are even worse than normal ones. So okay, let's go. Okay, we've got Queen, Rook, Rook, Knight. Oh, I don't even have chat open. Let me get chat going. Okay, Queen, Rook, Rook, Knight, and 5 pawns. Queen, Rook, Rook, and 5 pawns. So wait, they're just a knight down. However, we have some potential back rank problems. Our queen is being attacked. They've got some potential back rank problems. Our knight has some potential as well. Knight is being attacked as well. We have the worst pawn structure, in case things simplify. So what ideas do we have here? We've got ideas of taking, ideas of back rank, ideas of his check. So okay, candidate moves, we've got knight f2. This is a capture, this is a capture. What about threats? Maybe rook here is a threat, rook here or rook here. Okay, let's consider all these moves. So what about the check? They can take both of the queen and the rook. Queen makes more sense to keep the back rank more secure. I have no idea what that's achieved. I mean, maybe we could bring the rook down. It looks okay. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, not getting good vibes of knight f2. So what about the other moves? What about queen takes f7? I mean, this just loses, right? Queen takes check and then queen f8 and I get mated, so I can't do that. Knight takes b2 looks completely in the wrong direction. I mean, they just take my queen. And I have to be worse. So okay, what about our threats then? If we pin this rook and they take our queen, we're lost. Right? Unless we've got like this check that does something, but no, they just take it. So okay, what about like rook f5? Probably they take with the queen. And again, I don't see it. Rook e3. They take our queen and we take their queen. They can take with check. I don't like that. King f7, rook f3, king e8, and rook takes e3 and the upper rook. Rook f8 loses to takes. So what other moves are there? I mean, maybe this is a threat? If they take here, then I take here. They can take. And they can't take back with the rook because of back rank, but they can take back with the pawn. That's probably fine. I mean, maybe we're slightly better with rook e2 there, but... So what line was that? That was knight e1. I feel like maybe I miscalculated that as well. They take my queen, I take their queen. They have to take with check. I take back. And then they have to take with the pawn. And I go rook e2. If they have to play a move like rook b1, surely I'm better there, right? Like my rook is so active, I just play king f7 and I'm just better. I mean, it's not really that knockout tactic that you're looking for, but it looks better than anything else I can see right now. What about moving the queen? I guess moving the queen, the problem is that they can give this check. And then this is mate. So knight here is really the best try I can see so far. What if they just move the queen somewhere? Like queen f4. I don't know if we've achieved anything with this move. I see that there's some messages in chat, but just in case there's an answer, I'm not gonna have a look. Maybe if you guys have solved it already, I'll just share a little rant, which is for the record, nothing linked to my negative mood right now, but it was just like yesterday at the chess club, I lost my league match, annoyingly. I was playing the second best player in Liverpool, though. I was playing Gary Quillen. And the way I lost was extremely frustrating because I literally played a move on intuition, missing his resource, and I didn't bother to calculate, even though it was absolutely a moment I should have calculated. And it's, it's the classic mistake of mine. And it's just carelessness that led to that, which is just abysmal. But when we were analyzing the game afterwards, there were like some casual players playing also at the club. I think that was this group of 4 of them. I think 2 girls, 2 guys as well, for the record. But one of the guys said something along the lines of so there's a saying that the better you are at chess, what was the saying exactly? Like, the better you are at chess, the more you've wasted your life. I just heard that, and I was just thinking, this little bitch. I mean, does he know that on the table next to him, there's a fucking IM who, has... I don't know if Gary Quillen has dedicated his life to chess, but he's fucking good at chess. And it's just I was so mad on his behalf. Probably doesn't even care, but I mean, also as someone who's spent so much time on this game, I mean, it's just I'm so curious what this guy thinks is not a waste of life. I'm genuinely curious what doesn't count as a waste of life. I mean, literally everything is so pointless. It's crazy comment to make. Crazy comment. Yeah, I'm up for a debate, guys. If any of you can suggest something that's less of a waste of time, I'd be happy to rebut it. Meanwhile, I have no idea. It's so annoying because I'm somewhat proud of how I played up until the blunder. Despite actually, messing up positionally pretty much the whole game. I didn't really pick up on these subtle positional aspects which were happening. Which is also the risk of basically playing an opening which you've prepared but you haven't had much or any online experience of actually playing. So basically I didn't understand the position as well as I normally do with most of my repertoire, which I think I was a bit caught off guard about. Because it's been so long since I've been playing setups that I'm not as used to. I'm just so used to everything I play. So I'm running out of time here. I genuinely don't have a clue. I mean, knight e1 was my only idea, and he just moves the queen. I don't even see what the point is. Unless knight e1, he moves queen f4, and I just go knight takes g2, and so I'll sack. I mean, I am a knight up, so maybe I just win a pawn, and this is good enough. But knight e1, queen f4. Oh, knight takes g2 hits the queen as well? That's crazy. Knight e1, queen f2 then? Then I guess you've got like, maybe like rook e2 or something. I mean, it's my best try. I really don't see anything else. So okay, let's go for it. Incorrect. Rook e1. Okay, let's find out who got this in chat. Yeah, Shay, exactly. Seen your game against Gary Quillen before. It's wild how he got an attack from seemingly nowhere. It seemed like your position was stable. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like, I just didn't pick up on the fact that my dark squares were so weak despite my opponent not having a dark squared bishop. And yeah, that's why I just didn't calculate. And it's just sinful. Like you have to just calculate if there's an attack, even if you feel like there's not. It's a classical game, just calculate it. And I just didn't. And then got punished. As soon as he played bishop takes g7, I was just like, oh my god, I've just lost the game. Actually, it was actually so bad. But yeah. Spent most of your day solving deep calculation studies over the board. That is awesome, Frizz. From what book did you study? Hello from Istanbul. Fantastic class. How is Turkey? Hopefully the food is good. Rook e1, I think, does that work. That's so cool. Rook e1 is the answer. Let me see if I can understand it. Rook e1. I mean, it was a candidate move of mine. And all I said was, like, I don't see what it does. Like, just rook takes e7. And Fast got that quick. Well, I don't know how quick it was, but it was one of the earlier messages, so. Hold up. Rook e1, rook takes e7. What? Oh, you don't have something like, you know, immediately forcing, but it's like you've just got this threat to skewer the queen to the king at the end. Oh, that's crazy. I never thought we had the time for that. Yeah, so basically, if they'd taken my queen when the queen was here, then I could go rook takes rook, queen takes rook, and just simply take back. And the crazy thing is that they can't take my knight because I'm threatening mate. And I'm literally otherwise threatening to play rook e1 and just winning the queen. And then obviously I have a knight up in the endgame. But yeah, queen d5 is interesting. Jesus Christ. Oh, queen d5 is so nice as well. What are these moves? I mean, a part of me just wants to take, allow the discovered check and just go king h8, but the problem is I drop my knight at the end. Starting to look at stupid ideas like rook f8, which, given that there's a discovery here, it's just not working at all. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Jesus Christ. Queen d5. The problem is there's a huge threat, right? I mean, rook f8 is literally double check, and oh, why am I calculating rook f8, king h8, and queen g8? It's so stupid. Jesus, what? Okay, relax. We've got two different checks, knight f2 and rook f1. Neither of them work. Right? Neither of them are working. For knight f2, they go rook 7 takes f2 with check. I can block. It's really not anything. So I can't even correctly identify my candidates. No idea. Absolutely zero idea. Imagine if it's something ridiculous like king h8. Would king h8 work? Because if you take my queen, I take on f1. If you take on d3, then I take on f7. Oh, is that actually king h8? That's so nice. I think it might be. Because we're still a piece up. Bruh. Alternative? Just let me play this. God damn it. You're telling me that there's more than one move in this position. I'm happy with king h8. I mean, king h8 is the same kind of vibe of like rook e1 in the initial position. You've just got time for like such a slow move. But yeah, what's another slow move I can play since white literally actually can't do anything? If there's no discovery, which is why king h8 is so good. Maybe a move like queen e6 is also winning then. Because if takes, then I can take, right? And that also blocks. Yeah. Oh my mother of... What does it want from me? What's the move? Like, can I like take the bloody queen and claim that this rook is pinned, which was a problem I used to experience as like a 12-year-old trying to understand the rules of chess. What's actually the best way of explaining to an annoying junior why you wouldn't be allowed to play king takes queen in this position? Like, I think the way I've described it to my students who have asked me is like the rook is kind of like checking the king before the rook would check this king, so that's why. But I just tell them like I don't know. It's like a weird thing that does make sense but doesn't make sense. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like why can't we do this? Because the rook is pinned. But it's like I don't know. Ah, this is so stupid, like... I feel like it's a waste of time for me to have to find another move here. Unless it's like rook e6, but then they take the queen. That's just bad. Nah, I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat because I've already got 2 correct answers. That's enough. Quote was probably, the ability to play chess is a sign of a gentleman. The ability to play chess well is a sign of a wasted life. I see. That was the quote. But I don't think that was the quote the guy said. I think he just remembered the second half of it, which is just shit. But that makes it a bit more elegant. But I still think it's a trashy quote. I guess like I don't know, maybe when it's like written like that, I don't know, but it's still kind of maybe it's on me for taking offense to the quote. Like maybe it's just kind of like also respect for the grind. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too positive now. I don't know. Think of the Tate quote. Ain't no way is a fucking Andrew Tate quote. Are you kidding? Yeah, if progress in chess is a waste, stop at NM. Yeah, first of all, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Faz has confirmed that he is officially a national master, so congratulations to him. Absolutely amazing accomplishment. Yeah, chess master Faz. Crazy stuff. He said it, but it was known before. Yeah, I can also see Andrew Tate just being like, yeah, that was my quote. Rookie 1, Rookie 7. Rook takes F1, Queen F1, Rook E7. Yeah, that was the line. SPS Felix, good job. But then there was this random ass Queen D5. Yeah, how did the hair transplant go actually, Faz? Yeah, excited to see the results. You're gonna have to send me a photo. Studied from the internet, picking random studies. That's such an unhinged way to train your over-the-board tactics. Yeah, Queen E6, SPS Felix. Good job. I mean, that was one of my moves as well. And King H8 was what I went with as well. Welcome Aryan to the stream. Long time no see. Yeah, so literally Queen E6 and King H8 is what I saw. But Frizz is saying Queen takes F7 works as well, but how? Like, why not just Queen takes? Like, that doesn't look like it's working. Or is it again the threat of just Rook takes F1, Rook... Are you kidding me? You've got this again? That's just... I mean, why would you play it this way? It's so unnecessary to play this way, but okay, fine. That's such a joke. What was this guy doing? Mikhail Tal. Insane. Welcome Manmei Chopra to the stream. Don't think I've seen you here, Manmei, but glad to see you on here. Is it Jude's doing to convince you to come on? But yeah, good to see you. Was your brother at the Northumbrian Masters as well, or was it just you? I'm pretty sure it's just you, right? Because I always see both of your names pop up. Like, it's Tanmei, right? Tanmei and Manmei? Yeah, like, I like... I never know who's who. But I definitely met Manmei, so... Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of this puzzle. I mean, it started off cool, but yeah, this Queen takes F7 is so unnecessary. We get the classic question from Solo Lanisa. What platform are you using? This is Chessable, and if you check the description of this video, you'll see I have a Chessable course, and go from there to either look more into that or look at Woodpecker. But all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, we have, first of all, a Benoni. Second of all, against none other than the infamous Bukhuti Garganitsa, my absolute favorite player, who invented the Garganitsa Modern, which is going to be my next Chessable course. And there are some updates on this, in the sense that basically all the recordings, everything is absolutely complete. We're just waiting on Chessable to tell me a publication date, and they're being a little bit slow, but what to do. So yeah, everything's finished. Once I know the publication date, then you'll probably hear a lot more about the upcoming course. But yeah, poor Garganitza getting brutalized by Tal here. And instinctively, I want to just play knight f2. Like, knight f2 is probably winning. That's the instinct. Knight f2 king. Let me just... I know I should probably, like, analyze the whole damn position and whatever, but let me just calculate knight f2. Knight f2... Do they even have to take my knight, though? What if knight f2 they play, like, rook f1? That'd be so annoying. I mean, probably I've got, like, knight takes h3, and it's probably good. Let me just calculate this properly. God damn it. Okay, so, we have a Benoni position. White has just played the move h3. The fact that the rook's on e1 is really, really baiting this knight f2. But of course there are some other candidate moves as well. There's queen h4, there's bishop d4. Probably these are the only candidates make sense. But are there any other themes in the position we should take note of? Like maybe the bishop can develop this way. Maybe the knight could capture one day. Maybe the rook could try and swing or capture. This development is very dubious. The rook is also on a1, not on a3, where it can sometimes defend laterally. So it feels like, yeah, there's probably something here. To be honest, I've probably seen this game, but as you all know on this channel, I do not have a memory, so I don't remember the solution if I have seen it. But I do think king takes looks really bad, because we also have this bishop eyeing up h3. So this is one candidate, this is another candidate. I guess knight e3 could be a candidate. Queen h4 is a candidate. So let's look at knight f2 first. So they don't have to take, but let's say they do. We've got bishop d4, we've got queen h4. Probably bishop d4 feels most right. Can I actually defend on the dark squares? If we go bishop d4 and if they go king f1. It's not forced, by the way. They can bring the king up. But if we got this position. And I play queen h4. Threatening mate. The only move to defend is knight d1. Oh, but then I can go bishop takes h3, and they cannot take back, because otherwise I take and it's that classic checkmate with the queen and bishop. So is bishop takes h3 enough of a threat to be winning there? Knight f2, king f2, queen h4... No, knight f2, king h2, bishop d4, king f1, queen h4, knight d1, bishop takes h3. So I've won 2 pawns for the knight. And do I have a threat in that position? I don't even know what my threat would be. I mean, I guess I'm threatening to move the bishop back and play queen h1. Does look very good. I mean, knight f2's got to be the move, but I don't know. It would be nice if I could calculate it as well. Knight f2, king f2, bishop d4. They can also move the king up. I don't know, like king g3 or something, but also looks very wrong. I mean, at the very least on king g3 we can play bishop e5 check, and that has to be an improvement if they go back to f2. But probably I should also consider like knight f2, king f2, queen h4. If they go g3, now I go bishop d4 check. I don't know. I fucking hate calculating this kind of stuff. I don't play the Benoni like this either. Like, I know about all these lines of knight g4 and you just sack on f2 and then you calculate to mate, but it's just like one wrong move and they defend and then it's just over. So they're just easier ways to win with the Benoni. I'm very glad for the existence of these lines, because it means that a lot of like reasonable ways that white would like to play, they can't play, because you can play like this and just blast them off the board. I'm so fixated on knight f2. I should probably calculate some alternatives. If I play queen h4, I guess the issue is that they could also just play bishop takes g4. But probably pawn takes g4 is enough. And we got nothing. Probably. Yeah, the knight would be coming to f3, right? And then bishop d4, they also just play this. So I mean you gotta just sack on f2. Unless you were to just go back with the knight, but obviously it's not gonna be that. Yeah, let's see if we're right. So the question is, what's the precise follow-up here? Bishop d4, queen h4. Queen f6 makes no sense due to knight f3. Queen h4 though, one main reason to play bishop d4 would be that they can't just retreat to g1, but the point of queen h4, they also can't do this because of takes. So then logically, does it not make sense to bring the queen in? And I know that calculation, you're supposed to just brute force it and not trying to shortcut with logic, but it's just so difficult to calculate. I mean, that's also counting as intuition, right? To justify a move like queen h4 on logical grounds. Like, if you can bring the queen in, and there's no downside. I mean, I'm even seeing, though, that there might be king e3, which is annoying, if they can run away this way. But I do have this bishop, right? But then they can block. I don't know, Jesus Christ. Bishop d4 just feels better. I don't know what the logic is. That's the real intuition. Bishop d4 feels better. It says it's alternative. Okay, let's go with this one then. I don't know. I hate this. I hate this. So he goes back king f1. Which probably means bishop d4 is just a transposition. And then they're forcing knight d1. And this was where bishop takes h3. Felt good enough. But probably I should have a line here. Like if bishop d4, knight d1, bishop h3, knight f3. Do I have a solution here? Oh, no. I was going to say I could play bishop takes g2 and take on e1, but the knight will take me on e1. Oh, dear, oh dear. I guess I could take on h3 already. Bishop h3 already and they play knight f3? Like, surely the inclusion of bishop d4 has to be useful. But again, I'm using logic again. Bishop d4 has to be correct. Bishop d4, knight d1. Bishop h3. Knight f3. What's the bloody move? Bishop g2, king g2. Queen g4 check, king f1. Queen h3 check, mate. I see. So, okay, bishop d4, knight d1, bishop h3, knight f3, bishop takes g2, king g2, queen g4. Then they're forced to play either king h2 or king h1. If they go king h2... I bet it's some bullshit like rook e5 or something. Rook e5, knight takes e5. I don't have a bloody clue. I mean, I could probably take this rook on e1 or something, but I've just sacked a rook. This is the line I was looking at. Here. Bishop takes h3, knight f3. sack the bishop, king takes. And then play queen g4, and there's no king f1 because I mate on h3. But king h2, I don't have a solution yet. It's just like, why would you play this chess? Like, just play shogi. If you want to do this. It's so much harder to make this shit work in chess. Oh, God. Which is why I guess if you can make it work consistently, no matter what your opponent does, then you can get to world champion. But to ask us mere mortals to have to, like, work this hard, it's like, it's slavery. It's like the way I play chess is like living a comfortable life. And the way Mikhail Tal plays chess, if you're not Mikhail Tal, is like, you're a slave. And it's like, only Mikhail Tal can play like Mikhail Tal because he loves being a slave. Like, that's literally how it feels. Like, I feel like I'm enslaved trying to solve this shit. And it's so unnecessary. It's like, it's so unbelievably unnecessary. And the worst part is like, in my league game against this IM, I can't even calculate one move. And it's not even because I can't calculate, it's because I don't like to calculate. And here this guy's calculating like... Oh, I don't even know. Don't even know. King h2 I have no answer to. Like, I've already sacked my bishop on h3. What do I even play? I have no idea, guys. I have no idea. Is it just not that, then? Is knight f3 like a refutation? Bishop d4, knight d1. Like, there has to be something here. Whoa! Wait. Bishop d4, knight d1. What about queen h3? Ah, that's so disgusting. And then give the checkmate like this. And queen h3 is obviously better because you're threatening queen h1. Did anyone see queen h3, or am I a fucking genius? I don't see a single queen h3 in chat. Oh wait, Frizz with the... Oh yeah, queen takes h3 is just lights out. I wanna cry. Damn it. I thought I was really good for a second. But no, of course it was found. Yeah, you guys saw queen h3. GG. But no, that's really good. Well done. Queen h3. Jesus. Bishop h3 and Axel Smith's giving rook a3 as the best try. What about knight f3? Knight f3 was giving me nightmares. Oh, it actually is the best try. Queen g3. Of course. Just doing that. I mean, yeah, that looks good. This was my best try. And then king f1, there's mate in 1, but... Oh, king h2? Oh, it is sack the rook, but I didn't see why. I didn't see why this was winning. Oh, mate in 7. Classic. Queen h3. Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't see this far, but that's quite nice. Queen g3. Okay, let me catch up with chat. I don't know if that Mikhail Tal is a slave made any sense. It makes sense in my head. I don't even know where to scroll back to. Oh, I went way too far. My bad. Okay, let's go from Faz's hair transplant. So transplant was alright. I didn't enjoy the local anesthesia one bit. It was like maximal 0.4 seconds of insane pain. And then 5 seconds of mental relaxation lasting 15 minutes. Faz, I want to ask you, have you ever had a tattoo? Because I'd be curious to hear, because it sounds a little bit like a tattoo, but like probably it's way worse. So I'd be interested to see like how different it is. Subscribe to you long back, but it just popped up. Okay, fair man, mate. Knight f2, yeah, of course it's knight f2, but did you see the whole line? I guess not. Fat says it hurts, but it wasn't the most painful experience I've ever had. Take deep breaths or distract yourself. Bro, you should be like training chess in your head while you while you're getting tortured. Famous game covered by some YouTubers. Fair enough. I mean, as I said, I've probably seen it because I'm a Benoni player, but I don't remember one bit. I remember you, Jan. Yeah, just about. Only because you messaged me about 1,000 times a day. What you made... that's a good question for Faz. What made you go from 2,000 to 2,200 for the title? I'll let Faz... Look forward to seeing Faz's response. Yeah, bishop h3 after knight d1. Michael missing the queen b3 resource. I guess he meant queen g3? But queen takes h3 is far stronger. Yeah, exactly. Queen h3 is very nice. I'm glad I did get there. I don't know why it suddenly popped in my head. I think that is like the pattern recognition of the checkmates. Classics over tactics? Maybe. So Fast says the difference between 2000 and 2200 ECF was a combination of endgame instincts, openings not being so much of a factor, and practicing classical game tactics. Oh wow, okay. So actually backing up what Simon just said. And practicing puzzles on an actual chessboard. Yeah, I mean, I can't even hardly get myself motivated to do this, let alone on a real board. But I do sometimes get some calculation exercises from my coach on a real board, which I agree helped a lot. I said there's a queen b3 resource somewhere in chat, but I meant rook a3. Simon, how on earth did you confuse queen b3 and rook a3? Or was it like the same idea? Like you're trying to play queen b3 to defend that third rank? I guess that's probably what you meant. Yeah, good clarification questions from Frizz and Josh. So Faz says, essentially I can figure out the consequences of the opening given a lot more time, but in online Rapid and Blitz I've been punished way too often for not knowing my lines. So is your point that... Wait, so what was your solution then regarding openings, given this is how you struggle? Or you don't have a solution? Puzzles that you would get in a classical game. So not the actual classics, just puzzles, just like difficult calculation exercises that are practical. So like some puzzle collections from real games. I think, Faz, if for your grind to FM, what my best advice for you would be, based on the games that I've seen, I actually don't think it's openings that is the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem is sometimes you have oversights. Because I think you reach like a fatigue, like I don't know, like maybe during the tournament, maybe due to external factors, maybe due to like calculating super hard during the game and you just burn out. So I think it's a matter of like chess stamina, and I think just being able to lock in. And I think there are certain like pieces of like advice that can really help with that. I think one book that is fantastic is The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. And it's really a sports psychology book in many ways as well. I would say that would be the difference to reach FM more than openings, to be honest. That's my observation. Yeah, classic Bowden's mate. Incredible you remember the name, Jan. I would never remember that. Maybe you should read one of Tao's books, Michael. Maybe you'll want him in his chest after seeing his thought process. I used to have such ambitions, but it's really not for me. It's really not for me. Not had a tattoo, but definitely a lot more painful considering both the anesthesia and head being the target area. I mean, I think like needles hurt the most where it's closest to the bone. So I guess like the skull is the case, but I wonder if there's like certain bone that hurts more. Like, okay, let's look it up. Which part of the body does it hurt the most when getting a tattoo? I'll put ranked as well. Let's see where the skull gets its reputation. Oh, it looks like it is. Oh wait, you guys can't see any of this. Let me quickly put it up. Looks like from Business Insider. I don't know how. Okay, Healthline is a legit source. We can. Didn't want that to happen. Okay, here we go. Oh, for females and then for males. Let's go with the guys. Yeah, no. Looks like you experienced some painful tattoos. I've heard like the worst pain is actually on like the fingers, like the sides of the fingers is just like awful. But yeah, no, looks like you've experienced the worst of it, Faz. So yeah, good to know. Yeah, the sacrifices you make, eh? Oh, you misremembered the game. Okay, so that's why you're going with the Queen B3. Yeah, no, I'd be very careful, Simon, with like, you know, trusting memory of classical games to guide you. I guess, I mean, this was literally the game, so that's more applicable. But let's say in your own games, like if you start to like be like, oh yeah, this position reminds me of this position, and I should play the move B5 because that was the move that guy played. Like, it's so much more like concrete. Like it's really risky to like play moves in this way. Teaching Bowden's mate. Right, that would help remember it. Okay, welcome Yanis to the stream. Yeah, we should do more puzzles. I've been yapping too much. Only just joined. I feel this is a puzzle that's much easier if you're able to consider more candidate moves down the line. Like if you see Queen H3, it becomes obvious. True. Once you see it, then it's fine. I guess seeing it is the difficult part because you wouldn't typically assume that two bishops could give mate. But yeah, if it's a pattern that you've seen enough, maybe you can. Okay, let's do one more puzzle and then I'll catch up more with chat because yeah, I need to put in the work. Okay, so Bannock against Tau. Tau to find some exceptional move again. Queen, Rook, Rook, Bishop, Knight. Queen, Rook, Rook, Bishop, Bishop. So they got Bishop pair. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's going on? There is tension between the queens. The queen is pinned to the king. There's pressure on these rooks. There's pressure on this bishop. There's pressure on this knight. There's kind of 3 attackers on it. 3 defenders going on as well. Bishop helps defend the light squares. So somehow it feels like the king is somewhat safe enough. But, okay, bishop might be able to do something like this. Are there back rank issues? Not really. This rook is loose. Maybe could be vulnerable in some lines. Also, we've got the better pawn structure. This guy is kind of bad. This is only defended by the bishop, which has some tension already. So maybe there's some way to, you know, win here. Well, there obviously is, but okay. With all of that in mind, then what candidates do we have? So let's start with the checks. We've got queen takes f2. We've got knight takes e2, knight f3. What captures do we have? We can take on g3, f2, e2, d2, c3. We can take on e2 with a knight as well. And then what about threats in this position? I mean, knight b3 could be a weird threat. Probably not, though. Bishop g5 would be weird as well. Maybe knight f5 or knight c2, like protecting the queen that way. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with some lines. So, okay, if queen takes f2, this is very forcing. We've won a queen, so king takes f2 is forced. And do we have any ideas from here? We don't have any checks. And the problem is our bishop is loose on f6. So it doesn't really feel like that's the way. I mean, queen f2, king f2, knight takes e2. I guess they can just go rook d8, and king takes e2. Like, it's fine. So, okay, not bad. Let's look at something else. What about our other checks? Knight takes e2 check. If knight takes e2 check, maybe if they take with the rook, we can go queen takes c1 check. And if they try and block rook e1, then we can play rook d1. And they still can't take our bishop because then they don't protect our rook on e1 and we go rook takes e1, bishop e1, queen e1. So knight e2, if rook takes e2, queen takes c1, is there any other ideas there? Or have we just won an exchange? Looks very good to me. So knight e2, they cannot play queen takes e2 because it's pinned. So knight e2, what if they move the king? They can move h1, h2, f1. If knight e2 and they go king h2, well then we just pick up the queen. Knight e2, king h1, we pick up the queen. So knight e2, king f1 is forced. Probably knight takes g3 has to be good there. I mean, we've just won 2 pawns. So how would that go? Knight e2, king f1, knight takes g3, king g1. Now we go queen takes f2, rook takes f2. Or maybe king takes f2 to attack the knight, but in either case we can just go bishop takes c3 at the very least, and we've always got a square on f5, or if they take our knight we save our bishop, and we've won 2 pawns. So knight e2 is just winning, I'm pretty sure. Just double checking in case I missed anything, but no, this looks good. Okay, and then rook d1 was my solution here. Because we're an exchange up already, and then they can't take our bishop. Because actually both of these pieces are protecting this rook. Oh, I want to die. Why is it not rook d1? Is it the reason why? Is the reason why that we can win even more? I mean, what is this move? Like, why can't... Okay, so they can't take the queen because of bishop d4. Okay, fine. Is that strictly necessary? I mean, if they take the queen and they go bishop d4, is it not the same imbalance? Like, what was wrong with rook d1? Right? Or is this even more material? Because rook d1 we're an exchange and a pawn up, right? The bishop c3, and if rook takes c1, and we go bishop here. Yeah, it's just the same imbalance. Probably rook c2 to stop any rook d2 nonsense at the end. So what's the difference? So rook d1 probably doesn't work. Oh, is it rook d1, queen f6, and then you just ignore it? Ah, come on. But then I've got queen h6 covering these squares. Maybe I'm okay. I have no idea. Let me see what people are suggesting. Mate in 4? What are you guys talking about? Oh, I have the wrong display? Since how long have I got the wrong scene? Oh my god. Okay, let me first get the right overlay so you guys can... Jesus Christ. I mean, that was a good puzzle. I don't know if I can refresh this one. Maybe I can refresh it for you guys. Yeah, you guys can catch up on that while I catch up on chat. Oh, sorry about that. No, basically, like what I'd calculated, I felt like I did a really good job of this. Actually, I looked at like all the properties of the position. I considered all my candidates, and I got the knight e2 check, and I evaluated it as winning. because the queen is pinned. You cannot move the king here or here because we can take the queen. You can't go king f1 because I can take and then trade queens, and I'm up 2 pawns because even if you hit my knight, I win the bishop. And of course, knight e2, rook e1, then I go queen c1, and on rook e1, I thought I had this move, rook d1. I thought this move was winning. Because I'm an exchange up, exchanging a pawn up. And the point is, you can't take this bishop with either queen or bishop because I can win the rook on e1. But then I thought maybe it is this queen takes f6 because after rook takes e1 check, king h2, maybe I'm getting mated. But the thing is I can actually play queen h6 and I think I'm fine. So basically it turns out the answer is actually knight e2, rook e2, queen c1, rook e1. And in this position is bishop c3. And the point is that if the rook takes the queen on c1, then I go back bishop d4, skewering the queen to the king. And I thought, okay, we don't want the rook to come down to d2 eventually, so play like rook c2. And if they trade, which they probably shouldn't immediately, well then it's still the same material difference. So I was trying to work out like why is their solution so much better than mine. So that's the context. That's the context. Interesting from Yanis. Says something I've been struggling with, probably a bad blitz habit, is calculating deep is so easy, but just seeing different options 2 to 3 moves deep is a massive struggle. I think for me, just going move by move and trying to consider alternatives is good, but I agree it's hard because when you see like a nice looking move, it's very easy to run down that rabbit hole and go deep, because you want to kind of find out if it's good or not. But I think if it's kind of position where there feels like there should be candidates, then sometimes I can stop myself and just consider more candidates before just running deep. One more puzzle before I sleep, and then I do that with the overlay. That's so funny. Presume you get 2 more at least. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see if we can squeeze 1 more in. But yeah, this is the issue. Like, I can't see why rook c1, queen c1 and rook d1 is not winning. So can anyone spot the refutation of this? Why is rook d1 not also correct? Because when I played it, it said incorrect, and bishop c3 is the only move. What am I missing? I think rook d1 is fine. I think it might even be like a book error. I'm gonna be that confident and bold. Michael, can you set an audio alert to play when someone says scene in chat? The problem is, what if the people start trolling me? I don't know what's the best way to deal with this. Yeah. Things I've got notifications turned off and everything. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah, I don't know. I'll need to think of a solution, though. Should learn to forgive and forget. That's the best way. Forgive me and forget the fact that I do this like every other stream. Yeah, that's true, Faz. You actually did turn the Northumbrian Masters around. So it's not like a complete problem, but it's like, that's the biggest reason why you don't win the games that you draw or lose, in my opinion. Not to do with the openings. I actually think you have some very, very strong openings, to be honest. I think you overestimate how strong people's opening knowledge is on average. Okay, you guys found the FENs. Good job. Well, this is what I saw, Simon. That if rook d1, queen f6, then I go rook takes e1, king h2, and I go queen h6. I felt like that defense. I mean, I'm just. But then they take my rook at the end. That's what I missed. Ah, okay, that's what I missed. Rook d1, queen f6, rook takes e1, king h2. Queen h6, bishop takes e1. That's what I missed. Yeah. Ah, that's so annoying. Yeah, it's just the discipline to keep looking at forcing moves. Yeah, just to show that for everyone. Very, very annoying. Rook d1, queen f6, and what I had overlooked was that in this position, there's bishop e1. Otherwise, indeed, black is just much better. Crazy how the top move is to play queen takes c3. That's a wild decision. But it makes sense. I mean, your king's got these dark squares. I mean, you're literally going to get, like, wrecked on these dark squares. Like, it's going to be rough. Okay, let's do one final one. I know training is over, but that last puzzle had all kinds of problems, so. You'd be scared shitless of the mate threats. From which side? Jan, I'm absolutely not giving you my number. Maybe if you pay me for it. If you pay me $1,000, I'll give you my number, Faz. Jan. I only said Faz because Faz's name just popped up on the chat. Yeah, but bad form is like such a... So you think confidence was the main reason then? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's do one final one. Let's try and get out of this Tau hellhole before too long. Okay, Mikhail Tau against Rudolph. White to play. Okay, I have the right overlay this time. Okay, let's go. So we got queen rook rook, bishop bishop knight, queen rook rook, bishop knight knight. So we've got bishop pair. We've got 5 pawns. They've got 6. So in this position, instinct is knight e4. I mean, it looks really, really nice. I mean, you're trying to open up this bishop, potentially bring in this rook, pile on pressure on f7. Looks really good. I mean, actually, you're almost winning immediately with bishop takes f7, but maybe not. Knight e4 if they take it. You want to believe rook d1 is just winning. I mean, you're threatening bishop takes f7. And how on earth do they defend that? I'll be so annoyed if that doesn't win. I mean, if knight e6, then I could play bishop takes e6. And if pawn e6, then I've got queen h5. If knight e6, then I could go queen f7. Right? So knight e4, I'm hitting their queen. And if their queen has to retreat somewhere, like surely this is an improvement. But also, what is the win in that situation? Again, I'm tunnel visioning, which is very, very bad. I should be evaluating this properly, understanding all of my resources, understanding my opponent's resources, and consider my candidate moves, but I don't know, you just get so tempted by such a move. Okay, knight d6 though. Bishop takes is forced. Then I go pawn takes. The king is completely exposed. But how bad is it really? I mean, they could play like a move like knight e6 or something. Okay, let me do this properly. I give up. So, okay, black is a pawn up, and what pressures do we have? We've got pressures on f7. We've got ideas to go like this. We've got ideas like to go like that. We've got this x-ray pressure. This rook wants to join in somehow. This knight is out of the game, so we want to just kind of bring it in. So okay, let's go one by one. So what checks do we have? We've got checks here and here. What captures do we have? We've got this. We've got this. What threats do we have? We have knight e4. We've also got e6. Maybe bishop g7, if that's useful. Bishop e3, if that's useful. Rook c1, maybe. So okay, with all of this in mind, let's go one by one. If we go queen f7, they just take back. And sad life. Queen d7 is probably even worse, they just take it. Captures bishop f8, they can take back with the rook. Really doesn't look good. Take on d5. Just nothing. So then what about the threats? What about e6? I mean, this does threaten a very deadly attack. They want to keep defending f7 with their knight so they can take this way, perhaps? So yeah, it doesn't look good. So knight e4 feels correct. Queen a7 feels reasonable to defend this rank. Candidate moves within a variation. God damn it, come on. Okay, so what checks do we have? We've got knight d6, we've got queen f7. We've got knight f6. We've got queen d7. What about captures? We've got bishop takes d5. I'm just getting tilted because, you know there's like this love heart react or something on YouTube? And it's something like spamming? Or maybe that's because someone else is spamming. I don't know how YouTube works. In any case, it's just like flashing in the corner of my eye, which is just tilting. Knight e4, queen a7. Knight f6 check forces bishop takes. Knight d6 forces bishop check. So one of these should be good. Knight f6 check, bishop takes f6. Pawn takes f6, but they just get this knight e6 in. It's the same with the other way around. So knight e4, queen a7. What about knight g5? Because maybe that's like kind of like stopping this. And it's still kind of attacking. I don't know. This type of chess is so infuriating. It's just so awful. Knight e4, queen a7. I'm 100% sure knight e4, pawn e4 is winning for white. I think I already calculated all the important lines. At least, I don't know. It's got to be knight e4, but knight e4, queen a7, I just don't have I don't have a knockout. Like, for sure it looks good, but... I don't even know. I mean, I reckon, I bet, like, bishop g7 is, like, an alternative. Like, rook g8 and knight f6, bishop takes, and then, like... I don't even know. I don't even know. I also had this idea of bishop e3 earlier, but I think it's just garbage. After this, there's one thing I want to check as well, unrelated to Woodpecker. Just remembered that I was meaning to check it and forgot. It's a chess endgame thing, which you guys might find interesting. Screw it. Oh, and I stopped there? Fuck you, Axel Smith. Dirty, dirty man. What is this? d4, okay. You better cover queen a7. Oh, you're actually such a lazy writer. Actually such a lazy writer. And if it's not like mate in 2. Queen a7 is not the best. Okay, it's kind of... I don't even know. So everything's just winning. It's just, I don't know. I want to be able to see a knockout. That's the thing. So this is close to knocking out. And knight fe6, yeah. That's what I said. But I didn't see, like, why this was crushing. Like, it feels crushing, but it's like, there's so many times when my feeling is wrong, but I can't trust my intuition. But maybe that's the point as well. Like, you can't play these positions purely by calculating. You have to be able to trust your intuition. And, you know, what happens when your intuition isn't the level of Mikhail Tal? Well, then you can't, you know, play these positions with such confidence. And sure, maybe this one is like an easier position, but the point is you're always going to be limited and capped at a certain point at which your intuition is just not strong enough. I mean, we know so many talented, like, people who rely a lot on intuition, but maybe they're talented enough to get to FM or IM. But will they read GM with that intuition? Like, it's like, you know, and it's so hard to work on as well. Like to improve your intuition. Like, I feel like everyone's intuition has a cap. And it's harder to work on than, say, like, be more persistent with, like, reading more books to acquire more knowledge, or, like, putting in more work to calculation to improve your consistency at calculation. To improve your intuition is so difficult. So to, like, have to rely on it, even though it's capped for every single human being, I don't know. It's not my style. So I want to be able to see concretely why this wins, but I still don't. Like, queen f6, rook g8. I find bishop c2, yeah, it's so difficult. Bishop c2 to take on h7, yeah, fair enough. Was my other move winning as well here, like bishop g7? I'm in knight f6. Okay, this is still +1. I said I was considering both, but I think I said I don't remember which one I said. Don't remember. Don't know. But yeah, it's so hard to play. So hard to play. Queen f6 is quick enough. In which position? Here. But queen f6, what are you threatening, Simon T? Stopped king d7, sure, because the rook is attacked, but I mean... Is it not like a threat now? Oh, it's not, because there's queen e7. Right. So, okay, keeps the king stuck, yeah. Chess is a game where your intuition is sometimes wrong. Why is that so terrible? Well, when you are wrong, then you make mistakes, and mistakes can lead to losses when you start playing stronger players. So if you can avoid making mistakes, then that's a good thing. So for me, I actually don't have terrible intuition in all positions, but I definitely have worse intuitions in some positions than others. So I think avoiding such positions, or when dealing with such positions, you can navigate it in a way other than relying on something like intuition. If you realize your intuition is bad in those areas, then that's a good thing to do. If that makes sense. Yeah, to be honest, it does make sense. Like, actually, all the strong intuitive players I know also played a lot of Bullet. Yeah, which is fair. But I think you also need to have a certain, like, knack for it as well. I actually think bullet can be very, very good for intuition, but it depends how you treat the bullet, because I think for some people their brain works so slowly that bullet is not helpful. But for some people whose brains can keep up with the speed, then you're getting a lot more games in, and you can still play a decent game of chess. So I think it really depends like how your brain is like handling the chess when you're playing like a time control like bullet. It's like, for instance, like, you know, on the same wavelength, like ultra bullet would be even better than bullet for like, I don't know, getting even more games in and just like being even more instinctive. But for the majority of us, 15 seconds is just not enough to play a game. But for someone like Andrew Tang, you look at a game between Andrew Tang and Stockfish, ultra bullet 15 seconds, it is a proper game. He's playing good moves. He's playing legit chess because his brain can keep up. So it really depends on the person, I think. Stopping after 94 is unforgivable. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just like because everything is probably winning. And at least there is some explanation, but still it was like painful in the moment. Otherwise the knight comes to, what is this? Queen d4, there's knight d6, bishop d6, e d6, knight fe6, rook d1, queen. Why would rook d4, queen a7 be the main move? Oh, I guess rook d1 attacked the queen. Just, yeah, okay, fine. Rook e1, sack the rook and just see that it all wins. Yeah. No, I can't wait, guys, to get out of this Mikhail Tal section of the course. But probably we're going to be here a while. And on that note, guys, I think I will call it a day. But yeah, some interesting chat today. Yeah, I need to get back to you, Jan, about the bullet guard. I've just had a hectic day. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to show you, actually. I think you guys will actually appreciate this, so I'll pull this up together. Basically, I was helping out at a junior club in Liverpool. Basically, normally I'm teaching on Wednesdays already, but my student is on a school trip, and I have some extra free time in the local like Merseyside academies on Wednesdays, and I know the guy who runs it. And he was like, yo, you should come down sometime. So I decided to come down. And yeah, I mean, I could go talk in great depths of how the sessions was and everything. But all I will say is that I ended up talking more to one of the advanced kids who played in the Major Open. And he actually scored 3 points out of 9, which is a decent effort for, you know, such a young kid. Like with a rating of 1400. But I asked him, it was just at the end of the session, like I was like, you know, is there anything you want to ask me about? And he basically said like he's not the most confident with like, you know, like Lucina Philidor rook endgames. So I just was like, okay, like bet, just let's set this up and you play me. And we just play it out and you beat me, right? So the position we set up was something like this. I think I just gave him like the king and pawn like this, with my rook behind, with my king already cut off. I don't know if the probably I could put the rook here and the king here, and it should still be winning, right? But in any case, I put the position something like this, yeah, we basically get this like whole shuffle where the the pawn is coming down the board, something like this. I don't know, something like this. And yeah, I don't know, I don't remember, but it was something like this. And then I think I played here. Or maybe my king is still on b7. I think my king is still on b7. I don't know. Something like this, I think. And then I played this. And then he did that like build the bridge thing. And I have one trick. So my trick involves playing king b6 here. And all the textbooks say, it just goes king d7, you give the check, you go here, they give a check, they go here, and then you win the game. Right? Because you've built this thing. The one trick there is that in this position, rather than give the check, you just go here. And the whole trick is that okay, everyone now in chat, what is your instinct in this position? What would you play? I want everyone to give their instinct on this position. White to play, and how would you win? Yeah, Simon T. These guys are joking. If you want to ask me about rates and private lessons, you're welcome to DM me on Ponziani Master. I can explain. So yeah, in this position, the one trick is you're hoping that white just looks to build the bridge with rook c5, rook e5. And in this position, after rook c5, you can just take on e7. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no tries. It's just draw. So I actually managed to pull this off against the kid. So I felt pretty good about myself. But we were looking at this afterwards, and I told him like I remembered this trick with black, but I didn't remember how you actually win. And the move that we decided was cleanest was just to play rook f4. Because then we can kind of bring the king this way and promote if they start giving me checks. But I wonder. Yeah, this position is just mating. So is rook f4 the cleanest? It looks like it is. Yeah, probably that's just the simplest way to win then. Okay, king e6. Yeah, and there's literally nothing to try. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to double check that rook f4 was the winning move, because I mean it was like right at the end of the session, and there wasn't much time to like verify what we were doing. Alfie says rook b4 to super cutoff. Yeah, maybe this is actually like a worthy inclusion, and then play rook f4. I guess you can also now play rook b5, but okay, then they should really play king a6 to stop this, and then force rook f4 as a move. Yeah, because now you're just threatening to promote, and then you can always run this way and promote. Okay, very, very, very nice. So, yeah, good work, everyone. And I guess see you on Fridays for some more chess. And actually, Saturday, I'm going to be playing in a UK Blitz qualifier, 15 rounds of FIDE rated 3+2. So, exciting times, and see you on Friday. Okay, bye guys.